On today's lessons, I'll be teaching you how you can achieve this collar design on your dress. Now, you move right straight to the fabric you want to make use of for the neck. And before that, you have to know the neck measurement you're working with. And I'm working with neck measurement of 16. And the width of the fabric I'm making use of should be about 3 inches or maybe 3.5. But I'm using 3 inches on this particular video. So you might be wondering what I'm doing. I'm using the carton as a pattern so that we learners could learn and get what I'm doing on this video. Thank you. So you just have to make a collar curve on this any piece you want to make use of. If at all you want to make use of any piece, if you could just do it off head and get the calculation, then just go straight and do it. So here is the calculation of the collar, because there's a little bit of calculation here. I'm doing this particular pieces I'm using for the collar. I'm marking like about 16 inches. See, what I did at this extreme is what I'm doing there too, and is on 16 inches. Just watch. And after marking my first 16 inches with that pattern, I will like mark 1 inch inward. You see, I'm not marking it outside the 16 because it will make it wider. You mark it inward because we are like minusing 1 inch and adding 1 inch to the collar so that it gives you that look. I don't know if you get what I'm doing. Just watch. You see. And if you should measure the second 1 inch I marked, it will be like about 14 inches. 16 minus 2, that's what you have. So, and after marking the side, you also measure like about 1 inch at the top of the collar like I did, and you rule it. And watch to see my third measurement here now. At the middle of that 1 inch, I have to mark like half of an inch. I have to take the middle of those 1 inch I marked. And why I did that was because if I should make this particular piece, if I should cut it like about 14 inches, when I take off half inch as a seam allowance here, half inch as a seam allowance the other side, it will be like about 13 inches because 1 inch has minused. So the half inch I'm adding now, instead of just cutting that 1 inch, is for the seam allowance. That's what I did. That's the calculation. When you get the calculation rightly, you see your neck will come out perfectly, just the way mine did. And if you're new to my channel, kindly like and subscribe to my page. I'm not an expert. I just come here to share my experience on how I achieve my result, and I'll be very grateful to share it with you. Thank you. Then after getting my piece, I have to look for a black fabric, and I join it at the both side of my neck and press open it this way. Please, I will really need your attention here, and you have to be a good ironer too. Then after, I will trim off the excess allowances on the both side. Then I'll grab another black. You see, this one should be wider and larger. That's why I didn't trim it up, because I didn't want it to short. Yes, you see, you have to sew it straight. Then after sewing it, I used hairstay for this particular part. You just have to repeat the process of cutting off the excess seam allowance and all that and opening it, and after you just gum it and make sure you hit it. You make sure you open it very well. So here is the look, and after everything, ironing and gumming, and you might be wondering why I'm using white hairstay on this black fabric. I'm doing that so that I could see the line, the center of, the particular line I'm measuring my 1 inch from. You see, that's why I used it. So I have to measure out that same 1 inch I subtracted. So I'm still using this my pattern, and I will just have to rule it this way. You make sure it's perfect. When the line is curved, your neck will be curved too. So that's why I'm using this. And what I did here, I also did the other side. Kindly like and subscribe to my channel. I will be grateful for that. God bless you. So you see what I did, and I also measure out 1 inch at the top of my collar, just this way. Is this particular design is not what you should just rush. You give it time and you get a good result. So at the end of the day, I'll just pick my meter rule and I rule my straight line. You see, I rule it just this way. Make sure you have a straight line. And what next? You see, it's about 1 inch. Please, I would really appreciate if you can ask me any question about what I'm doing. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. So after, you see, you just have to bend it this way, and you just bend it this way. You make sure you're following your 1 inch line and just press it. Just press it this way. And you also do that at the side. You sew on your 1 inch while closing it. You're not sewing the top. You won't sew the top of this particular collar because the top is already closed. You just sew the both side. Then you see, after sewing it, and I'm having my 16 inches there, I just have to trim off the both side, and you see, I trimmed it off. Then I also do that at the bottom of the collar, just the way you see me. And after, I have to keep it this way and iron it, press open it this way, you see, and also do that the other side. I press open it this way. You see what I'm doing? I press open it this way, then I flip it and make sure you get a pimped edge. You see, I have to use this picker to poke it out. Sorry if my English is wrong, but I had to just make sure I have a sharp edge, just like that. And here is now a time to iron. Now here you give it a good ironing, and you see what I'm doing. So just I have a nice edge, a sharp edge. That's why I'm doing all this thing. And you would want to use hemming gum on the side, just the way I did, and you just place it in, and you heat it up. You could just need iron and wear. Just iron it, and you do that on the two sides of the collar. As you can see, you can see your collar edge very sharp. So you do that on the other side, just the way I'm doing it now. And you also use your hemming gum, just the way I did. So see, you can see the shape of your neck even when you are not yet done. And you have to heat it up after everything. Here's it.